Bye-bye. Bye, Istana Hotel. Day 5. And it's not 5 a.m. as you may have guessed. Things have changed. If you'll remember, I rode last time we met. I had ridden 185 kilometers, gone absolutely soaking at the end, but arrived at the Hotel Istana in Bima with the plan that I then had 50k the next morning to get to the ferry in Sape, but I was going to have to leave early. As with all these things here, I was given different times, so either around 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. That's quite a difference. So I thought I'd do a bit more research just to find out if I could get a closer exact time for the ferry departure. Well, I did get a more exact time, 10 a.m. However, not the 10 a.m. I wanted, but the 10 a.m. the following day. So there is no ferry today, but tomorrow, if this information can be believed. So, new plan, I got to laze around in bed all morning. I'm now going to ride to Sape, 50k, one big climb, about 7 kilometers, into Sape and stay the night there, and hopefully there is a ferry tomorrow morning over to Labuan Bajo on Flores. Whether there will be or not, we shall see. Second breakfast, melon. Taman Kodo. Bima wasn't a bad little town, was relative. I mean, I don't need to spend any more time there, but compared to Plampang and the wonderfully named Dumpu, it was a metropolis. And the hotel, compared to the Lina back in Plampang, was the lap of luxury, so I was very happy to hang out there. Nice owners, free coffee, good food nearby, so I enjoyed that time there. However, this evening I fear it could be Hotel Lina revisited. Reviews are not good. Into the big climb, about halfway up, a little bit steep in places, but well paved. And no sun. So at breakfast, corn from the side of the road. Very salty, very juicy, not bad. Over the top, you see back down to the ocean. Arriving into the docklands. Hello. Yeah, not lovely, as ferry ports in poor countries often aren't. Anyway, more interestingly, I just met a fellow foreigner, and he told me that there was a ferry today. So hard to get the right information here, but however it was cancelled, so I got away with it, and we don't even know that there's one tomorrow. The theory is there is one tomorrow, but these things are weather dependent and all sorts of other stuff. Well, there's a nasty looking flood ahead. I don't think I want to ride through that. Anyway, we'll go and see if we can find more info. The Hotel Mantica. Okay, doesn't look very promising. The reviews were awful, as if it was the Hotel Lena. However, once you come in, there's a very nice woman working on the counter, got a grandfather clock. Check the room. It is far from it. For me, it is quite acceptable. Little room, she told me to bring the bike in. It's got AC that works, it's got a bathroom, you know, bucket, it's got a shower at least, bed. There's Wi-Fi. Last one didn't have Wi-Fi, didn't have soap, didn't give me a towel. But the best thing of all is it's got a really lovely view out the back where I think we can just chill this evening and await tomorrow's news. I have read of people spending days in Taipei waiting for boats. That's just how it goes, but there we go. So that's it, a nice easy day today. It's just kind of weird riding 50 kilometers, 2 hours. I'm sort of set in for another nearly 200 kilometer day. I've had 3 breakfasts, time for first lunch I think, and then we're just going to chill and await news. Out of the Mantica, heading for the port. All looks good. I don't know what day this is, but the ferry is there. I've got a ticket. It doesn't leave in theory for an hour and a half, but already people are milling around. I think it's best to get there and get on board. I'm in. Got some lunch, got a snack, got some water. It's going to be a long old day, 7 hours sailing time, and who knows when it's actually going to leave. Alright, carefully on board. Pagi. Bumpy. And we're in the ferry. Looks pretty safe there, I think. I don't think you can get run over by any trucks. You never know. Tour of the boat. I like all the plants. This is the top deck. I'm going to risk sitting up here. The choices are top deck, a little bit hot at the moment in the sun, but maybe there'll be a bit of a breeze because downstairs is a bit of a scrum. Let's go and have a look. No air conditioning, which there normally is on ferries. This is a different world, might be a bit dark. So there's sort of beds. Yeah, a little bit India level, I'd say. Yeah, this could get a bit hot, I think. It's 10 a.m. I think we are about to depart. There was a loud toot on the horn. Seems to be everything's calming down. One last chat. Oh, gonna make it. Confident. This really has been an old school travelling experience. You know, back in the old days, you didn't know in advance a lot of stuff. You just turned up. Maybe there was a ferry, maybe there wasn't a ferry. Maybe there was a bus, maybe you got a seat, maybe you didn't. Maybe you'd find a hotel. You just didn't know. You turned up, you waited, you asked people, you got 10 different answers, and at some point, something would emerge. And that is kind of how the experience is here. I kind of love it. Looks like we're off, 10:25, so a 25-minute delay. Now, the big question is, how long will it take? We've been given figures somewhere between 7 and 10 hours. Hoping for 7. Weather seems pretty good, so that's probably the main factor. Let's go, boys. 7 hours later, as predicted, Labuan Bajo. And on to Flores. Not Labuan Bajo, as I was pronouncing it Spanishly, but Labuan Bajo with a J. Anyway, we're here just before sunset. Perfect. I'm staying at a hostel tonight. I had my eye on a couple of other places and they filled up, so I thought I better book something. So I'm staying at a hostel which is 700 meters from the harbour, so easy. And I think I'll stay here for a couple of nights because it looks like a nice city. I like the look of it already. It's the next day. I found my hostel. This is where I ended up staying. La Bohème Hostel. Very cool little place. It's sort of constructed from wood. They're still constructing it, you can hear it. But yeah, very nice little place. Staying in a dorm, but I can live with that for a night or two. This is up on the second floor, so there's loads of places to chill out. There's free coffee, there's a good free breakfast. I spent the day basically kind of chilling, went for a little ride this morning just to have a look around the city and make a few plans for when I leave. I'll get back into that more later. And that's it, so I've had a good rest day. Tomorrow we get back on it. 3 hard days through the mountains. That's to La Bohème. 3 seconds of cycling and then onto the bridge. Peggy. We're off. A little bit later than planned. Didn't get a great night's sleep. Thought I'd leave before dawn. But as you can see, dawn is amongst us. Onto the high street of Labuan Bajo. Nice little town. I've enjoyed my days here and I'll be back. I'll go into future plans in a bit. For now, we've got a big old day ahead. A mere 125k, but 3,700 meters of climbing. That's a lot. And pretty much as soon as we get out of town, we're into a huge climb up to about 1,200 meters. Everyone's up and awake. Just getting through the outskirts of town, it's already very green. I can see the list of climbs ahead. In a few K, we've got a 20k climb, all the way up to 1,200 meters. Then we drop all the way down to the coast and do it all over again with a blip in the middle. So that one's about 33 in total. And then 2 5k stingers right at the end. But we'll be sleeping up at 1,200 meters. Could be a bit chilly, but it'll definitely be cooler, so that'll be nice. Just don't want it to be too cool. Anyway, as ever, we'll get what we get. Now we can just enjoy a little bit of rolling terrain before the main business begins. Pagi. Flores, from the moment you arrive, already immediately different to Sumbawa. Sumbawa doesn't get tourists, and I have to say for a reason, it's not super beautiful. I mean, it's still lovely, but Flores, very different. Labuan Bajo, full of tourists flocking in by all means possible. There's an airport there, more on that later. Principally to go and see Komodo and the dragons, monitor lizards, or scuba diving. Those seem to be the main activities. I think as soon as we're out of Labuan, we will see very, very few tourists. But I think it's going to be very, very beautiful. Here we go, 20k climb, and we're off. That's my first church on an island that is primarily Catholic, although you wouldn't think so in Labuan. The mosque right by the hostel, 4:15 a.m. every day, and a long one. Hello girls. And straight into a little downhill, like a lot of big climbs. It's a bit rolling at the start, and then what you can see from my computer is it's really sort of 4 climbs with little downhills in between. The first one looks brutal, and it's coming up into the truck's taking it very slowly. A few more K of this. At least on this climb, it's early, it's not that hot. I mean, it's hot. The second climb, that's going to be a very different story. I don't normally stop halfway up climbs, but I think on this occasion it's warranted. There's a superb view back down to Labuan and out to sea. That's the first part of the first climb done. I've already stopped for a cold drink. Green tea, honey flavour, needed it. Now it goes down a little bit, up a little bit rolly, and then bang, straight back up. What's the bigger plan then, while we're on a slightly flatter bit? Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, you know, I do not plan in advance, not because I'm sort of anti-planning per se. It's just, it's not until I get here. I know the conditions, I know how far I can ride, I know about the ferry situation, I know what the roads are like. I cannot make those decisions 2 years in advance like some travellers do, some bike tourists. So now I'm here, I've got more of a sense of it. I was sort of planning to cross over to Sumba Island, but that 7-hour ferry crossing was quite tough. It was really hot at times, and the one over to Sumba is longer and less frequent even. I think only once or twice a week, and I'm not even sure where it goes from because I've been given different ports. So I think I'm going to scrap Sumba, but also it just feels like Flores is enough. It looks beautiful enough to me. So we're going to ride to Ende, which is 3 days away, 3 hard days. Today, 125k to Ruteng, 3,700 meters of climbing. Tomorrow to somewhere beginning with B, I can't remember the name, 135k, a mere 2,800 meters of climbing, and then up to Ende, which is up 1,200 meters up, about the same 125k and just under 2,000 meters of climbing. So that's going to be an interesting 3 days. We'll stay in Ende. We might do a volcano climb. It's going to be my birthday when we get there, so we might do that as a treat, and then we've got to ride all the way back to Labuan. Now, whatever I was going to do at this end of Indonesia, I always thought I was going to have to ride back to Bali. But it appears I do not have to ride back to Bali, because there's an airport, Komodo Airport, in Labuan with very cheap flights back to Denpasar. I really don't fancy riding all the way back through Sumbawa, and I really don't need to get reacquainted with the Hotel Luna. Now, normally if I have to take a flight home from somewhere that I didn't fly out to with my bike box, I would just go to the local bike shop, search in Google Maps, and ask them for an empty box. But there are no bike shops here. So, plan B, we're going to have to make a box. get some cardboard from the supermarket, get a couple of rolls of packing tape, et voila, done it before and just about survived. It's games time. Nice little school. That's the first big climb done and dusted. I'm going to have a little snack. I did get free breakfast at the hostel. It's supposed to be pancakes and fresh bananas and coffee, but there were no bananas, which is a bit of a shame. But I have bought a bag of fried bananas, not so healthy, on the way up. Pisang goreng. So I'm going to eat my pisang goreng, and then we got a long descent and flat, and then all down to sea level, and then all the way back up. Over another bridge, and we're straight into now the next of the huge climbs, 33k. Fairly easy to start. I need to stop and get water, so we won't be doing this non-stop. Up on a little plateau, views all around. About halfway up the climb now. It's getting a little bit cooler, even a little bit clouded over in places, so that's good. Seems to be a bit of a cliff area. They've cut the road through. Could do with another cold drink.
Hello, mister.
Selamat siang. Getting up into the clouds now, nearly 1,000 meters up. Finally managed to secure a cold drink. A lot of the little shops just didn't even have fridges. Just very poor around here, but very friendly and very beautiful. We're into the last kilometre of the big climb. I have to say I'm pretty cooked. Been going nearly 6 hours. I think the fact I haven't eaten enough probably doesn't help. Had my breakfast, had those fried bananas about 3 hours ago. Haven't had anything since, so should be a bit of a downhill now into a town, not a huge town, but I'm sure there'll be something to eat there. Definitely need some calories. Very basic lunch. Someone selling backso at the side of the road. These boys have had theirs. Sort of meatballs and a bit of noodles and an egg, boiled egg. I don't really like boiled eggs, but I'm going to eat it because I'm stuffed. But the view's good. I'd seen one small town on the map thinking, oh, I'll get some food there. Went through it, not a single place to eat. So I was just thinking, oh, I'm in a bit of trouble here. And I saw that sort of Baxo mobile, a little motorbike with a guy selling Baxo, and that saved my bacon. Very good, very tasty, cheap, and that should get me to our destination. Probably another couple of hours riding. Lufthansa didn't pull out on me, but he wanted to. Ruteng. Desperate to get past me and then has to stop. Car drivers, same the world over. That was the entrance to Ruteng. Still got a few K into town though. Oh look, it's a little touristy hut. And it's all uphill. We're looking for our place of residence for tonight, Cha-Cha Homestay. It's getting very dark suddenly, and so I think we need to get there ASAP. Stats for the day: 127 kilometers, 3,500 meters climbed. Yeah, I'll go with that. 7 hours 50 riding, and about 40 minutes break, so it's been about 8.5 hours since I left. Anyway, I think this is Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha-Cha. Let's go and see what Cha-Cha-Cha is like. Looks industrial. Literally just starting to rain. I've chosen well. Come and see Cha-Cha. It's fantastic. A real homestay. And 1, 2, 3, and there's a whole box of kittens. No, seriously, there's literally a whole box of tiny kittens, but I'm not going to disturb them now, but we'll get some footage of them later. Anyway, I'm going to settle down, rest. They make food here. It is everything you need after a hard day cycle. Literally 1 minute after I arrived.